Good morning. Welcome to day 4 of the adventure from Anchorage back to the East Coast. Up a little bit later this morning than I wanted to because I didn't get to sleep quite as early as I wanted to last night because I had purchased a 4-pack of these little like pie things and I ate 3 of them last night just out of anxiety, and that is what I do. I stress eat, so I feel like I need to go run 3 miles this morning, but I am in prime bear country and I don't want to be bear food.
We do not care.
It's not really how that works, but that's my justification for not running. So just talked to the front desk and we're going to go over and plug in at their level 2 charger. Apparently it's only 5 kilowatts and I am at 24%. We're actually coming up to the car now, so I'll check. 24% charge after plugging in overnight on a level 1, 110 volts. So we'll get over there, get plugged in, and leave when it's done, I suppose. But in the meantime, I mean, this is an incredible area. I mean, I'm gonna take a little walk along the lake here, have some breakfast, try to kill some time here as much as I can. But I mean, it's absolutely beautiful out here. Cannot fault this at all. There are definitely worse places to have to be forced to spend time. There are also like mountains in the distance over here on the other side of the street. So I don't know, I kind of want to go for a hike, but I don't know where all the hiking trails start at, so I'll have to do some investigating. So I'm gonna go plug the car in, get that started, and then probably eat some breakfast and figure things out from there. So something that was fun last night was, you see, camp mode is engaged now, but because when I parked here last night, the battery was less than 20%, camp mode would not engage. So I was also up until about 2 o'clock this morning, very cold, because I didn't want to run the heat until I could turn on camp mode, because I know that it's going to cut off every 10 minutes. So up at 25% now. Something I'm very happy about, actually, these white seats. Initially on day 1, I kind of was disparaging towards them, but they've held up really well, actually. I've spilled all sorts of things all over them because day 3 was just a mess, and I'm very happy about how how easily they clean up. I also initially was very negative on this white, and I'm still not the most keen on this white dash material. I think it's aluminum, but it doesn't create as much glare as I thought it would. So initially I was considering getting one of those wood cover kits from Hills and covering up the white on the doors and the dash, but I think I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. Maybe it's more of a summertime issue. I don't know. All right, let's go get this plugged in. Get this charging. I had to borrow this adapter. I think the front desk people were laughing at me last night, but that's okay, because you know what? This is all new to me, so fun times. So plugged it in, and we have about 7 hours, a little under 7 hours. I think it was like 6 hours, 50 minutes until it's fully charging. The lady at the desk told me it caps out at 5 kilowatts, but it's charging at 7. So I'm going to consider that to be a victory for today. So I'm going to do a little walk here along the lake and take some pictures because this is incredible. And then there are a couple of hiking trails in the area that I think I'm going to go and explore. Nothing too strenuous, but definitely want to get outside because today seems like the perfect day to do that. And of course I'll be taking videos. I don't know, maybe I'll make a TikTok. I don't understand how to TikTok, all these dances. I don't dance, but maybe, we'll see. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh my gosh, love these places. It's so beautiful. I'm definitely not upset anymore about having to spend some time here because it is quite beautiful, and it's also very peaceful when I'm not talking. This reminds me a lot of Denali National Park. There are a lot of lakes out there that are just sort of like nestled in between various mountains. and mountain ranges, and it's a beautiful area. But there's supposed to be a hiking trail up here somewhere to go up into the mountains. So I'm gonna adventure off to see if I can find that. Take some more pictures, catch my breath, enjoy some sunshine. The air is clear. I was looking at some of my videos that I've taken the last couple days, and I realized that like I'm like this in some of them.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
I need to get into the habit of holding this out here like this. Never done anything like this before, but that's okay. Learning experience. As they say, try something once and you'll keep trying it because you'll find that you're not good at it the first 200 times. I think that's the saying, right? Yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna walk or hike, I suppose. So I'm gonna hike up this outwash here into this valley. There's a trail that goes up here. I don't anticipate going up any mountains today just because I'm not really wearing the appropriate gear and this is very rocky. And as a general aside, if there's no cell reception and I'm not familiar with the area, I try not to venture off too far because out here there's very little help that I can reach out to and for. So I'm gonna go see what I can see up here. Looks like there might be people out there already, which is disappointing, but that is life. Whew, definitely did not wear the right shoes for this, but then again, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, so that's okay. But I mean, a lot of this material looks like it was just kicked up and deposited by the glaciers that came through here. And you can tell there were glaciers through here because a lot of the mountains around, the tops of them are sort of rounded off. But then the taller mountains, the massifs, those are more peaky, jagged with the schist rock at the top. So this was definitely a glacial valley, probably during the last ice age. Definitely during the last ice age. I mean, feet hurt a little bit. That's okay. I once went hiking in Denali National Park and went up to the top of a mountain called Mount Healy, right by the National Park Visitor Center, and didn't realize that there was a hole in my tent because I was camping overnight. So at like 2 in the morning, it started raining and my tent filled up with water. So I was running down the mountain. This is like a 6,000 foot mountain. Just running down the mountain in like socks and shorts because I was so miserable. I was like, I want to get off this mountain, please. My fair share of adventures. What I do find to be nice is that they have this trail marked with these blue ribbons tied to trees. But then again, I mean, the whole thing is just a glacial outwash. So it's kind of hard to get lost in here. I mean, I guess if you venture up one of these mountains, which I will not be doing.
That is not correct.
I don't know. So there is running water through here, assuming this is probably the West Fork. I did see a few bear prints back in the rocks, so I'm not gonna hang out here too long. Just stunning. Venture up a little bit more to see if I can get some better pictures, and then probably venture back down because I want to go up the east fork of this into the forest a little bit. Okay, so I did a little bit of climbing up, kind of regretting it because I'm not sure how I'm gonna get down, but I mean, the view from here is fantastic. Beautiful. A little nerve-wracking. That's okay. Now I just gotta get down. Doesn't look bad on camera, but it was a pain to get up. Going down is always the most difficult. All right, well, a few cuts and scrapes because it was more of a gentle fall down this rock cliff face, rocky outcropping than I wanted, but that's okay. I brought Neosporin with me and some Band-Aids, so I'll get that fixed up. But I mean, all is fair in love and war, right? And like, if you don't feel like you're on the verge of death, then you're not adventuring, right? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's written in a book somewhere. I'm gonna have to go try and find it. But now I'm gonna make my way down. May have fallen, but I got up. And I still get to see this view as I make my way down. Definitely worth the hike down just to get this view. Very pretty, very pretty. Now we make our way back in that direction, back to the hotel. Should be fun. Just gonna follow the outflow channel. Yay, back to the main road. So I know, I was thinking about this while I was making my way down, and I was like, I know that there are a lot of people out there that would be out here with their rock climbing equipment, and they would be, you know, going up those mountains and this and that. I am adventurous. I like to see what's around the next corner. I like to push sort of my own boundaries, but I'm not willing to do so at the risk of my own safety because I know what I'm capable of and I know that I'm not a mountain goat. Like I mentioned, I'm not the type to like push into strange areas that I've never been before, that I don't really know a whole lot about, because I don't want to take the risk of anything happening and then being stranded or, you know, not being able to reach any kind of like emergency services. So I am perfectly fine with the views that I got and just this little adventure that I've gone on here, because wasn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, I love it. Spend these moments trying to be grateful for these views, for these landscapes, because not a lot of people get to experience this. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Back in the car, had some lunch, took a shower, feel nice and refreshed. I know I've been wearing the same sweatshirt for like 3-4 days now. I will dig another one out tomorrow out of the suitcase, okay? So I'm gonna just wait until this is done charging. It's got an hour and 45 minutes left. So not gonna get out of here till 4:30, which is unfortunate, especially considering the fact the next place where there's a charger, there is no DC fast charger, so I'm gonna have to stop for another 6 hours and charge, which will probably be a good time for me to just go to sleep. So today will be a very short day. But then after that, we won't have too much longer until we start hitting DC or Tesla Superchargers. So things will improve. So this is my first time accessing the service mode, and it gives you a bunch of information about charging, about your battery, about vehicle information and everything like that. And I just think it's kind of interesting to see this charging information, and then you can go and see the high voltage system, and you can see different information about the power distribution, and then thermals, and then the chassis and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. So we got 5 minutes remaining. I'm gonna wait this out and go ahead and unplug it. So once we unplug, hit the road here in about 5 minutes, it'll be about 155 miles to Fort Nelson, and then we'll have to find another level 2 charger to plug in at. So that'll be fun. So yeah, see you in Fort Nelson. So this portion of today, this drive through this section, hands on the wheel, there's gonna be a lot of driving footage because we just finished going through the Mooncho Provincial Park, and we're basically entering into the High Rockies or the Northern Rockies. So there's gonna be a lot of driving footage. there will have been, or there will be. There's gonna be a lot of editing, and I don't really know how to video edit it. I don't know how to video edit. So, this whole thing is a learning experience for everyone. Similarly, I realized I'm probably not giving as much information about my charging stops as I should be, like duration and exactly how much was put into the car. I'll try and do better. Enjoy the driving footage. I had to take a break from driving for a second just to really take this in. Just simply amazing. We got some friends here. Friends! I was trying to slow down to take some vids of my friends back there, but there was this giant semi-truck that was bearing down on me, like not slowing down or anything, even though I was going slow with my 4-ways on. So, Mr. Truck kept me from getting better footage, but they were elk. A lot of elk in this area. Have to be careful because the elk. I love that stretch of this highway here going through northern British Columbia. Absolutely love it. Every time I go through there, it's amazing. I always have to catch my breath, both because of the elevation, altitude, but also because it's just so beautiful. So things kind of level off from here, which means we should be able to slide right on into Fort Place thing that I mentioned earlier that I can't remember. Fort Nelson. That's where we're going next. So we'll just slide right on in, plug in, probably call it a night there because it's going to take 7 hours to charge. Because tonight we have, because we have to go to 100% on this charge because.
What was the reason?
Tomorrow, going to Fort St. John is 238 miles. See you there. Update. Fog. I've already dodged one fog monster. I don't want to do it again. But there's many fogs out there. Many foggy boys just obscuring my vision. Fog. That is all.
We don't care. Let me tell you. We don't care.
Hello, hello! Well, hello, everyone. So, we have made it to Fort Nelson, and we did amazing in terms of efficiency. 236 watt-hours per mile. So, we left the campground with 80%. We got here 29%. That is fantastic efficiency. That's actually significantly better than I was thinking. So I am now pretty hopeful, actually, that once I find this charger, I'll be able to charge up maybe even by early morning. And then that way I can get out of here at a decent time tomorrow morning instead of having to wait. So right now I'm heading over to Tim Hortons because that's my favorite place in Canada. And I'm going to get one of their bowls and an orange juice. And then I'm going to go over and find this. Actually, a couple level 2 chargers here. And it doesn't look like it's open, but maybe I'm just the only person that wants Tim Hortons at this point. Apple said it's open, but Apple lies. But yeah, they don't look like they're open. All right. I don't see anyone in here. All right. I'm going to check back in. I'm gonna go check in. Be right back. They're closed. All right, so I'll just go to Subway. I probably should eat something relatively healthy and filling at this point anyway, because I am starving. There is a McDonald's here, but I don't want to eat 5 McChickens, and there's an A&W. I really don't know what that is. I think they have them in the lower 48 too, but I've never been to one, and I'm not really in the mood for a greasy, nasty burger. So, Subway it is! All right, so I am here at Triple G Hideaway RV Park in Fort Nelson, British Columbia. And I have to say this place is already significantly better than the last place because the last place would not let me charge overnight. They were like, no, we don't do electric vehicle charging overnight. The charger is loud. The charger was not loud. It didn't make any noise at all. So there I had to spend 60 Canadian in order to get a camping site, camp out overnight. And of course, you know, the initial plan with that was plug in and 30 amp adapter didn't work. So that whole plan kind of got like scrapped. So stayed overnight on 110 and then had to pay like another 50 Canadian to charge basically all day today so I can make it here 150 miles away. So this place, they have a dedicated electric vehicle campsite where you can car camp and charge overnight. And it's cheaper than either of the overnight camping spot charge or the electric vehicle charging charge from last night or from earlier today and last night. So, Triple G, if you're driving any electric vehicles through this place, stop off here and charge and camp out overnight because it's pretty fantastic. So, I'm going to eat my Subway and watch Ahsoka, log off for the night. It's been a fantastic day and also terrible and wonderful at the same time. It's been interesting. So, yeah, signing off and yeah, end of day 4. Morning. Morning of day 5. Around 8:30 now, 8:32 in the morning. Here in Fort Nelson. Charged up to 100%. I don't know how many kilowatts we pulled. It was like 7 kilowatts average. I don't know how many kilowatts total we charged. Probably like 700, maybe 40. I don't know. But 8:32 in the morning, gonna take a shower and switch into a different sweatshirt because this one is getting dirty. It's getting dirty. The first night, I think last night was the first night that I actually got a full 8 hours of sleep because I think I signed off around 8:30, watched the Ahsoka show, and then retired to the back to actually like go to sleep. So I mean, I'm kind of tired, but I think it's just because I spent so much time in the car. Usually at this point in a road trip, I start to either lose my mind or I'm just always tired because I'm like sitting so much. I definitely had some strange dreams last night, so I might be losing my mind and just tired. I'm not sure, but I am looking forward to breakfast of Tim Hortons. I think it's going to be a rainy day today. Because it just looks like it. All right, come on, let's go. Standard shower here at the campground, but I discovered this at the last one. You have to pay for like 5 minutes at a time. So you have to put what the Canadians call loonies, which is their coin dollars. Hey Liz, into the machine, and then it turns on. Oh my gosh, amazing. So 4 minutes, so one Liz gets you 4 minutes of water. Fantastic. I'll be honest, I would call them Lizzies. I understand why they're not called Lizzies, because technically Charles is supposed to be on the new money. I call them Lizzies. One Lizzie. Not one loony. One Lizzie. There she is. Look at how dirty Susitna is. Oh, I don't think I mentioned this. That's her name, Susitna. God, she needs a bath. She needs some milk. Ugh, gosh, the bugs. All right, off to grab some breakfast. But first, let's say good morning to Sophia. Good morning. Just want you to see this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God, it's so good. I love Tim Hortons. Love Tim Hortons so much.
Much later.
Was in car wash mode because we decided to give the car a little wash. My Susitna. Look at this. I even cleaned the door sills because I hate scuffing my pants on them. Cleans up pretty nicely. Miss Susitna's happy. Very happy. Tesla. Indeed. So let's go. Exit car wash mode. All right, 96%, 316 miles. We know we're not gonna get that. Hopefully we get 236, because that's how far the drive is today. 236 miles to Fort St. John. Hopefully we can get there with a little bit of spare charge. So rumor has it, according to PlugShare, there is a DC fast charger that just opened up on the outskirts of Fort St. John. I'm hoping to hit that up because I would actually really like to make it to Dawson's Creek and then maybe even Grand Prairie tonight, because I do kind of want to start to move things along here a little bit, at least if I can. Because once I hit the Supercharger network, we're gonna go. We just got to get through the rest of the Alcan Highway where there are, these slow DC fast chargers. But back on the road, 236 miles. Let's get it. Thinking my strategy for today is just gonna be to set the cruise control to 54 or 56 miles an hour, and I'll just get over if somebody's coming up behind me, because even when I'm back in the lower 48, I'm not one to do like 70, 75. I max out at like 66. That's as fast as I feel comfortable going. And it's not even a comfort thing. It's just like I drive for efficiency, not because I'm in a rush. So I'll probably set it to like 56 miles an hour, cruise along. There is a place where I can stop about 3/4 of the way there and charge, but the problem is it's another campground. So I don't want to do that, but I'll have to keep a lookout on things. But it's rainy, which kind of makes me feel stupid for washing the car, but the windshield needed it, and there were so many bugs on the front. So many bugs on the front. Oh my gosh. Onward we go. So just a little update. It is raining outside. It is 44 degrees, and I'm averaging around 55 to 60 miles an hour. We're at 50% battery, and we've got 122 miles, which means I should be able to get to Fort St. John without having to stop and top off. Keep in mind, this topping off would be at a level 2 charger, so I'd have to sit there for an hour or two. But it looks like I should be able to oh goodness, speed crept up. So 123 miles in 50%, 289 watt hours per mile, which isn't great. But I looked at my altimeter in my Apple Watch, and it says that when I left Fort Nielsen, I was at about 1,500 feet, and right now we're at about 3,400 feet. So we have been climbing, which explains kind of the terrible efficiency. Plus it's cold, plus it's raining. Still not impressive. That puts real world range at like 250, which, I mean, I guess is in line with expectations in these conditions, but it's still not like the best. So sometimes you just have to learn to not drink milkshakes while you're traveling, because that extra weight will hamper your ability to get there. I pulled into the rest area here about 25 miles outside of Fort St. John's, where the new 50 kilowatt hour fast chargers are going in. It's on PlugShare. It shows up on ChargePoint, but they're not yet operational. So they still have the saran wrap around the plugs. They still have the screen like sticker, the screen protector stickers on the screens, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping that they'd be open. That means that the only charging options in Fort St. John are going to be the slow chargers. So get to spend another 7 hours somewhere charging. But 'tis life. On the plus side, we're looking at about 30 miles out, about 21%, and our efficiency is actually improved pretty decently down to 272 watt hours per mile. So not too bad. And honestly, I'm kind of getting hungry. I'm kind of getting restless. I'm ready to get up and walk around. But driving for, 4 hours, 206 miles. So, oh well. Wait a second. I just double checked PlugShare, and it looks like there's a Ford dealership in Fort St. John, Nelson, around the clock, LMAOP, whatever this town's called. There's a Ford dealership that has a 50 kilowatt hour DC fast charger, CCS, of course. So I'm really hoping that this is accurate, because if I can make it to Dawson Creek or even out to Grand Prairie today, that would be my absolute preference. So I'm so much happier now. Oh my God. Let's see. I don't know. I hope, because I really don't want to spend hours in this town. There's not much there, and yeah, let's see. So there is a Flow 50 kilowatt hour charger here outside, out back of the service entrance for Murray, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. I don't even know if they sell electric vehicles here. I mean, I imagine it probably is a part of their deal with General Motors to install these chargers, given the fact that they are getting ready to start selling things like the Chevy Blazer, Equinox EV. I know the Silverado EV is coming. I think GMC also has the Sierra EV. I'm sure Buick has a bunch of electric vehicles they're going to import from China here soon. So we're going to plug in and then go buy some food. I'm probably going to go to Tim Hortons again because I have a problem. All right, plugged in to this here Add Energy Flow charger. Can I say it is a pain in the neck to deal with this like CCS adapter thing, because you have to plug the adapter in, plug it into the car, and then you also have to start this with the ChargePoint app because you can't tap the card because it's not working because I don't have the physical card. Very excited to get this in Tesla Superchargers, but it's saying an hour and 20 minutes. We're charging it roughly 39 kilowatt hours. It's saying an hour and 20 minutes charging at 39 kilowatts. I'm not staying here an hour and 20 minutes because it's $20 per hour. So I'm gonna cut it off at an hour, and that should be fine to get to where we need to go next. So I'm gonna go venture off. There's a casino and a bunch of other things, but I'm hungry, so it's lunchtime. So a couple of things. All right, so we are charged up to 66%, which is gonna be perfect because The destination I'm thinking for tonight is going to be Grand Prairie. There's a small part of me that kind of wants to keep going beyond that, but I can kind of make that decision later on. Mostly just because, like, and it's a stupid metric, when I do this trip up until Grand Prairie, I basically plan a fitness hop, and that's so that I can take a shower, get a workout in, and I don't have to get hotel rooms and stuff. So Grand Prairie is where the first Planet Fitness, is where the first Planet Fitness is that I'm gonna hit up. So I'm kind of deciding if I want to stop in tonight, get a workout in, and then keep driving, because from there the Superchargers kind of, well, because from there the chargers become more, because from there the chargers become more frequent, so I don't have to worry so much. We're kind of past the worst part of the charging infrastructure. We're gonna get to a point once I get closer to Edmonton, which is about 6 hours drive, where we're gonna be able to just start supercharging all the way. And then that's gonna make things so much easier and actually a little bit more expensive, because up until this point, with a few exceptions, charging has actually been kind of cheap. So we'll see what that turns out to. But went to McDonald's for lunch. McDonald's in Canada has grilled chicken. I know that's a weird thing to be obsessed about, but I used to work at McDonald's, and my favorite thing that they had was the grilled chicken snack wrap and the grilled chicken McWrap. Like the big things, and they still have that in Canada, and it's so good. I mean, it's not like amazing food, but it's better than like cheeseburgers and things, just my personal opinion. So we're gonna head out. We're gonna stop off in Dawson Creek, because that is where the Alaska-Canada highway officially starts. So I wanted to get some pictures and stuff, and then from there I'll decide whether we're gonna camp out in Grand Prairie tonight or whether we keep going. So I have arrived in Dawson's Creek. Let me get my fat self out of this car. I'm not fat, I'm just kidding. And one of my favorite things that I like to see is a sign. World famous Alaska Highway. This is kind of cool. So we've driven the entirety of the Alaska-Canada Highway, mile 0. It goes all the way to Fairbanks, Alaska. Of course, we didn't start out in Fairbanks. We actually went further than that. So cool. This whole town is really cool because they have a lot of like really cool gift shops that are here that kind of specialize in the Alaska Highway. And it's kind of apropos given coming from Alaska all the way out to Dawson Creek, British Columbia. Love it. It's just this cute little town. They have like a Walmart, of course, because everywhere has a Walmart, but they also have a bunch of restaurants. They have this really good little diner that's actually down the street. I'm kind of mad now that I got McDonald's in Fort St. John, because they have this little diner here that does really good, like cheeseburgers and fries. But, alright, have to show them together. Ugh. It only took 5 days to get here. Another 5 to maybe 6 to get all the way. Totally worth it though. Totally worth it. Interesting phenomena that I have never experienced before. So, if you take a look at my Instagram, I'm an avid photographer. I love going new places, taking pictures, and really good at like the editing and everything like that. But something that I don't really do a lot is record myself. I don't really post many pictures of myself. I really don't record myself in any kind of like social situations, just because it's not really like who I am or what I do. So it's an interesting feeling the first time you go to kind of record yourself in public, and you know that no one's really paying attention to you, but at the same time you feel like everyone is paying attention to everything that you're doing. So like, for example, here at the world famous Alaska highway sign in Dawson's Creek, BC, get out of the car with my phone and with this guy, and I'm talking into it, recording, and there are a couple other cars that are parked around, and the people are in them just kind of hanging out, doing whatever they were doing. And I look around as I'm recording, and everybody is watching me. And I get so nervous in that moment, because like, I know I'm not doing anything wrong, and I know they're just curious, but it still feels, there's still a certain amount of like pressure, I don't know, or maybe like attention that I'm not used to getting. So it's still kind of weird for me. And it's happened a couple times actually, where I'm just sort of like recording or I'm talking, and like I almost try to make it look like I'm on a FaceTime call, because I don't want to seem strange, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I've never experienced this feeling before, and it's really interesting. So we're here in Dawson's Creek. We're just gonna head out because I do want to get to Grand Prairie tonight and find a place to camp out. There's actually quite a few places in Grand Prairie where you can just park your car and car camp. I do it all the time when I'm doing this drive. So we're gonna head out. It's turning into a beautiful evening. I hope you're doing something fun. I hope you're happy. I mean that. So I broke the first law and rule of vlogging, and I didn't tell you exactly what I was doing, so I apologize. But I pulled up to the Planet Fitness here in Grand Prairie, and I ran in to get a workout in, and I ran in without doing anything because I really had to pee. So forgive me. But had a decent workout, and I'm just doing my protein shake because like I have everything I need here. I got my muscle milk, I got my like athletic green stuff, which by the way, if anybody has ever been looking for a greens drink, athletic greens, highly recommend it. Tastes great, goes really great with vanilla muscle milk or any kind of protein powder. It's fantastic. So I'm gonna make this up. I still haven't fully decided where I'm staying at tonight. I don't want to pay for a hotel because I looked and they're all really expensive, like at least $200 Canadian. So I think I might just go over to the airport. There is an overnight lot there with an EV charger. I think I might just pay the $10 and just park overnight there and car camp. So I don't know. Like, I want a nice bed, but at the same time, I feel like if I actually get a hotel, then I'm gonna end up not getting out of here till like 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I really want to get out of here sooner because I kind of want to try to go to Banff. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. Found a place to park. Positive. Even better, found a place to park where I can plug in. On the negative, it's only charging me at 2 kilowatts. But I figure that's enough to keep the battery going. It's enough to keep camp mode going. So I can at least sleep tonight comfortably because it's 43 degrees outside. So that does mean I'll have to hit up a fast charger tomorrow. But tomorrow I am planning on leaving Grand Prairie and heading over to my first Supercharger, and then from there possibly heading over towards Banff National Park in Canada. So looking forward to it. So I'm gonna sign off for the night. End of day 5. Day 5. Good night. Hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, beginning of day 6. And it is a cloudy and smoky one here in Grand Prairie. We're gonna unplug. I'm gonna go do my usual thing of... Oh, hang on. I gotta stop the charging. So we have gained 12 kilowatt hours. And we were charging at 2 kilowatt hours all night. so slow go. But like I said last night, I don't mind it so much because I really just wanted something to... can't get this thing off. Couldn't get this thing off. Didn't mind the slow charging because, I mean, I kind of anticipated having to fast charge at some point today anyway. Or at least this morning, so I didn't mind the slow charge because it's just enough to kind of top me off. Well, not really top me off, but enough energy to keep the camp mode going and get me to a point where I don't have to like sit at a fast charger for an hour because I don't think that there are any super fast chargers around here. So breakfast time at Tim Hortons because where else would I go, honestly? And then probably gonna hit up the gym again because I don't know where next we're gonna end up. I would like to make it over to Banff, but if we make it over to Banff, then that means that we're probably gonna be camping over there tonight and then going over to the lake tomorrow because that's really the only reason why I want to go over there. So, all right, D6, here we go. There was this really nice lady in the Tim Hortons restaurant that was asking me questions about my Tesla, about Susitna, and she was asking me about gas savings, and she was asking me about how I plan out my charging and everything, and I was trying to like show her, and she just wasn't like, she clearly wasn't technologically adept, which is fine because I showed her the apps and stuff like that. And then as I was leaving, she must have noticed the license plate because she tapped on the window and she was like, wait, you're from Alaska? How did you drive from Alaska? And, you know, and that led to another story basically telling her about, you know, camping overnight at campgrounds and everything like that. And I think that's when it kind of clicked in her head that like, oh, that actually sounds really nice. And then she talked about how like her and her husband have an RV and sometimes it'd be nice to just like travel in a car and everything like that. Super nice lady, super cute. But breakfast was a major success this morning, if I may say so myself. I think it was fantastic. So now we're gonna head over. I am going to go to the Planet Fitness and get another workout in before heading out. I haven't even really figured out where the fast charger is that I'm gonna use yet, but I know there's 2 of them here in town, so I'm gonna figure out which one I wanna use. More so going to the Planet Fitness because it's kind of cold outside this morning and I really just wanna take a shower. But I want the workout to be an excuse to take a nice long hot shower. So that's what I'm gonna do, because it's Friday, why not?
Brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same.
Hi! I forgot to record another installment. I'm sorry.
That is not correct.
So, after I went to breakfast, went to the gym, had a great workout. After the gym, I went to the Chevrolet dealer here in Grand Prairie. Now, there are 3 DC fast chargers here in Grand Prairie. All of them are CCS, which is fine. One is 25 kilowatt hours. That's at the Volkswagen dealership. And of course, I talked to the GM over there while I was kind of like putzing about, and he was like, yeah, we installed it as a part of the Volkswagen Dieselgate settlement. And that's why it's 25 kilowatt hours. Basically just met the minimum requirement for what they had to install, and it was the cheapest. The next one is a 50 kilowatt hour charger, which is the one that I decided to hit up over at the Chevy dealer. There's a 75 kilowatt hour DC fast charger here, but I decided not to go to that one because that one requires a proprietary app to be downloaded, to whereas the other 2 and the one that I went to, they activate through the ChargePoint app. And it really kind of frustrates me, and I can't imagine doing this trip in a CCS vehicle because once I leave here, that's where we're going to start picking up the superchargers. So maybe 1 or 2 more CCS chargers, depending on where exactly I decide to go. But we're basically done with CCS. Now we're straight on to the Tesla superchargers, which I'm very excited about. I really wish, and I hope that this consortium of chargers, I forget what the name was, that was just announced a few weeks ago between BMW, Ford, and a few others. I really hope that there's some way that they can pull their system together and come up with and put together some sort of system on the back end where you don't have to download any apps, you don't have to do anything additional. All you have to do is just plug your car in, just like Tesla, and it runs through either some sort of credit card that you program into your car, and it just automatically charges it that way. Or you can go through like the My Ford app, you can go through the My Chevrolet app, the BMW, whatever. All automakers have their own apps at this point. Basically, you just plug your car in. You don't even have to worry about doing a touch screen. It's just like a Tesla Supercharger, and it gets billed automatically through your My whatever manufacturer app you have. That's the way charging should be done. There should be no apps. There should be no need to tap like a card or anything. Like, the card reader should be there just in case something happens. It all should be done on the back end, just like Tesla does it, where all you do is just plug it in, it gets registered through your Tesla app, and it bills you when you're done. That's the way that all of this should be done. All these manufacturers need to come together and put together something like that, because I understand that's why everyone's switching to the NACS adapter, but at the end of the day, this isn't going to work if they still have their own proprietary things. There's no backdoor communication or anything. Everybody needs to be on the same system. So all you do is you plug the car in, it bills, you're done. The only time you have to worry about tapping a card is if maybe you are brand new to owning an electric vehicle and you don't have the app set up yet, or maybe you're visiting from another country or something like that. The only reason why that card reader would be there is for emergencies, in case the network is down or something like that. But that's the way that they need to do it. It should be plug and play, all done through the back end, and it's all one simple billing process. It would be so much easier, so much simpler. Let's hope that they get there. All right, rant over. So I'm going to run into Walmart. I'm going to grab another gallon of water, and then we're going to hit the road. Wow. And then we're going to hit the road. Yay.
12 seconds later.
All right, so plans have kind of changed here, because I was looking at the weather, looking at the shuttle buses in Banff going up to Moraine Lake, and I decided, instead of going to Edmonton, that I do actually want to try and go to Banff.
Onto 156 Avenue.
So we are going to my first ever Tesla Supercharger. We're going to the one in Jasper, and it is 248 miles away. Saying we're going to get there with about 5%. It's saying we're going to get there with about 5% battery, and it did pop up a little thing saying needed to stay below 60 miles an hour in order to make it. So I have no problem with that. I will set the cruise control to 50 if I have to. I don't care. So I am very excited to get to this Tesla Supercharger in 4.5 hours. Kind of crazy. But you know what? I'm ready. I'm excited. Let's get on the road to this first Supercharger here in Canada. I just wanted to take a second and say, I don't know if I actually did. I don't remember if I previously said what my plans were. My plans initially were going to be to go to Edmonton and then continue on to Saskatoon. But like I said, I've always wanted to go to Banff. I've never been through that part of North America. And there is a Supercharger in Jasper, and then there's actually a Supercharger just south of Banff, outside of Calgary. So I think this might work. This whole thing is one big journey adventure, so I'm crossing my fingers and my toes, but I think it will work. We'll be good. Quick update here on the numbers. So set the cruise control for 58, and it hasn't yelled at me that I need to go under 60 or 55 or anything, so I think we'll be good. But when we left, it said we get there at 5%. Now it's saying 11%. So the guessometer is reanalyzing, and my driving is helping, but also the fact that we're doing 251 watt hours per mile. Not too bad, not too shabby. I don't have the heat or the air conditioner on because it's pretty comfortable, and I don't even have the heated seats on because I'm good right now. So onward. driving on Highway 40 down through Alberta, and I'm in this beautiful river valley, but I just drove past a coal-fired power plant, and you look over and there's like this giant deep hole in the ground where they're clearly digging the coal out of it. And then you look over by the power plant where all the coal is stored and everything, and it's just black, just like soot and nastiness and gross all over the ground everywhere, like even the tower. It was like all black and nasty, and the smell in the air is disgusting. Like, first time I've ever used biodefense mode in the air conditioning system here. Absolutely disgusting. And you look around a lot of like these hillsides, and there's like black, like it's like a black mildew almost in the air here. It's gross. But I mean, you can see out the window behind me, it's beautiful out there. But yeah, that was interesting, the contrast. God, I hope the power for this didn't come from that power plant. Just a quick thing. I decided to stop off at a certain Dairy King / Queen place. Can I show brands on YouTube? I don't know if I can. I'll look it up, and then I stopped off at an ice cream place, and I got a Snowstorm. It's really good. Okay, bye. Just quick update here. Rolling into day 5. I think this is day 5, right? I have to go back through my calendar and look. I think it's day. Here's day 6. You know what? This might be day 6. Anyways, okay. So we're 6.5 miles from the pull off, and we still got 49 miles to go. We've been doing around 55, 56 miles per hour pretty much the entire time, getting 261 watt hours per mile. Not bad. So we've got about 200 miles. We still have 49 miles to go. So we're going to get there at just a little over, or actually a little under 250 miles on a charge with 5% battery remaining. It was up to 12% at one point, but the temperature dropped and it got to raining, so I had to turn the defrost and stuff on, so lost a little bit, but hopefully we'll still get there with 5%. So pretty good, not bad. I do kind of wish that turning on the heat at 60 degrees, like setting it at 60 degrees didn't drain as much battery as it did, but I mean, then again, we should still get there. 48 miles to go. Pretty great. So a couple things I want to point out about this UI and a couple things in general. So I think it's really interesting. We're about 9% battery. We still have 13 miles to go, and this indication popped up saying that it's preconditioning the battery. I didn't think that Teslas did battery preconditioning if the battery percentage was under a certain percent, because we're only at 9%. So it's interesting that it's doing that. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I just have to do more research on that, but I did not think that they preconditioned under a certain battery percentage. But I'm assuming that the system took that into account, because it's still saying we're going to get there at 4%. But I have not used Autopilot with auto steer or the full self-driving yet on this drive. I do have the full self-driving beta. I took delivery of my Model Y in July, and I utilized a friend's referral code, so I got 3 free months of the full self-driving. I have yet to use it. I have almost no interest in it because I love driving. I might try it once I get back across the border into the lower 48 just to kind of see what it's like, but I've never actually tried it. I don't even really use the auto steer function. I have just used basically the intelligent cruise control the entire time. But I do think it's interesting. I absolutely hate Autopilot, and the only reason why I dislike it, well, two reasons I should say. One, the windshield wipers are ridiculous when this thing is basically radar cruise control, because they will go absolutely full on when it's just lightly sprinkling, and I cannot stand when you have just like a light drizzle outside or even a moderate rain, and you just have that back and forth in your eye line or in your vision sight, in your eye line. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So anytime it starts raining, I usually kick it out of Autopilot and I just drive on my own and hit the wipers when I need to. So that's kind of the one annoying thing. And then another is I have noticed that this system, I'm not sure if it's just because it doesn't have a radar, because I know hardware Ford does not include a forward-facing radar. When I'm on these 2-lane roads where the speeds are higher and we're coming either downhill or uphill into a curve, I get really bad phantom braking. So the car slams on the brakes to a point where back on the Alcan, there was somebody that was behind me that I thought was going to rear end me because the car hit the brakes so aggressively. So a couple of things. I also do sort of wish that there was a way that you could put this climate control into recirculate when the HVAC system isn't on. So if you hit power, it turns it off, but there's no, at least that I know of, I don't have to look into it, but there's no way of going into settings to hit recirculate. You just sort of have to go back in here, because when you tap it the first time, it turns it back on, and then when you tap it again, it actually brings up the physical menu. So I do kind of wish that there was a way to hit recirculate, because there have been a couple of times where I've been driving and it started raining, and I didn't have the HVAC system on, but because it wasn't on recirculate, it was still bringing in that humid air from outside, so it was fogging up the inside windows. So I'd either have to roll down the windows or turn the system on. And if I'm trying to conserve battery, I don't really want to turn the system on. Just a few things. Nothing nitpicking or terrible, just, observations. Oh, that's 3%. Well, we have arrived in Jasper. In just a few minutes, going to be pulling up to the Supercharger. Probably not even going to use this audio. Honestly, probably just going to cut this out because I don't see the point in narrating this.
In 500 feet, turn left. Then your destination will be on the right.
Alright, so we have arrived in Jasper. Oh, see me little guy. I don't think I've shut him off yet. So we've arrived in Jasper. 252 miles we have traveled since we left Grand Prairie. 258 watt hours per mile. We have 3% left on this battery. But the thing that I'm the most excited about is the fact that this is the first Supercharger in almost 2,000 miles that we've traveled, that I've traveled. That we've traveled? Yeah, sure, we've traveled. So finally, at the end of day 6, getting to a Supercharger after almost 2,000 miles. And the thing that makes me excited about this is just how easy this is going to be. So I think this is a version 3. Maybe it's a version 2. It's 2B, 2C. I think this is a version 3. The thing that makes me most excited is all I have to do is grab this guy, tap it, plug it in, wait a few minutes for it to initiate and connect, and that's it. That's all I've had to do. So much better, so much easier than dealing with CCS connectors and apps and going through ChargePoint and everything like that. And it's done. It's charging. And if we take a look, we are charging at 168 kilowatts. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Ah. Oh my god, this is so nice. It has been absolutely painful charging at like 15 kilowatts or 20 kilowatts is which is what we got when we first got across Canada. 40, 50 kilowatts here almost the entire way. I don't think we've charged faster than 45 kilowatts over the course of this entire trip. So to be at 246 kilowatts right now we're at, it's going to take 35 minutes to go from 2% up to 80%, charging at 250 kilowatts. Oh my god, the trip is gonna get so much better from here. It was agonizing.
What was the reason? What was the reason? What was the reason?
Like, charging so slow. I don't mind stopping, and honestly, having that time to actually, like, breathe and get out and walk around wasn't bad. But, like, given the fact that it took 6 days to travel just under 2,000 miles, and now we have access to the Supercharger network where we're gonna be able to blast, like, the rest of this trip. For the most part, there are a couple spots where I still haven't fully planned it out yet. I probably should have done more planning, but honestly, like I said before, I've done this drive to Alaska so many times, and I'm like, I know where the gas stations are, I know where all the chargers are likely going to be, because there's only so many towns across the way. So I'm excited. It's looking like we are being charged 59 cents Canadian per kilowatt hour. I don't know what that is in US dollars. One of the things that I am going to do tonight, because I haven't actually figured out where I'm camping tonight, because I am going down to Banff, and I've already booked the shuttle bus to go out to Moraine Lake tomorrow morning. So I know that I need to get down to Banff tonight, but I haven't figured out where I'm going to park or where I'm going to stay. I'm hoping I can look on the PlugShare app and find a level 2 charger, or even just a wall outlet somewhere down there that I can plug in and, like, reasonably card camp tonight, because I really don't have to want to pay for a hotel, but I'll take a look and see. The other major thing that I do need to do is once I leave Banff, that's really the only place that I want to stop on this trip, because it doesn't make sense to go down to Yellowstone and then cut over. That would actually add like 2 days, and at this point it is getting to where I am kind of wanting to start really making my way east. So I'm gonna have to take a look and see what makes the most sense in terms of routing, because I can either cut across Canada and then go south through Vermont, or I can just cut across the border into Montana and then go across 90. Well, not 90, because I don't want to have to pay the tolls, but basically seeing with the conversion to US dollars which way would be cheaper, because there is a Supercharger network across southern Canada that I can take, and then there's also the Supercharger network across 90 that I can take, but it just kind of depends like what would be cheaper in terms of like conversion and energy. So I'll have to take a look at that. But I've been sitting here talking for only a couple minutes, and we've already gone from 2% to 22% in like 4 minutes. Come on, Tesla. Come on. Put in superchargers along the Alcan, please. So just a small thing. I know that they make the prefabricated superchargers in Buffalo, New York, but I was sort of looking at this, and I remembered that they also have Giga Shanghai, where they manufacture V3 superchargers there as well. So I'm almost wondering if they do them the same way that they do in Buffalo. So in Buffalo, they basically put, I think it's 3 or 4 of these stalls onto a prefabricated concrete block with the cabinet, and then it's all basically shipped like that, and they just plop it in the ground. I can't imagine it's the same thing with the Shanghai manufactured ones. They probably, maybe these come on a block and then they plop them in and then they just install the cabinets over there. Or maybe they come independent, so they have to install them differently. That's kind of cool. I have to look into that. So many things I have to still look into. I'm sure someone has the answer, but we are currently charging at 76 kilowatts. We've ramped down quite a bit, but we only have 7 minutes remaining. We have only been here We have been here less than 20 minutes, and it's only going to cost me, probably $37 Canadian, which is like nothing. Oh my gosh. All right, so I stopped her. Look at this. Just look at the... Try that again. Oh, when it's white, you can pull it out. But look at how much easier this is than dealing with all the CCS stuff. Closes automatically. I don't think anyone knows how exciting this is. So, the total for this in US dollars was $26, which is pretty fantastic, and we got up to 76%. I was going to go to 80, but I didn't really see the point in sitting here for the last like 2 or 3 minutes just to go to 80%. So, very happy with this. And let's see if we can go into charging. Last paid. Yeah, so $35 or $26 Canadian. We got up to 76%. I am very excited. Now I continue on to Banff National Park. And ooh, bear bells. So it looks like there is a Tesla destination charger down in Banff National Park area. Forget the name of it. Lake Louise Village. Louise. We'll go with Lewis. Lake Louise Village. So we're gonna go down there. It's about 2.5 hour drive. So we'll get there. This is not showing me the accurate time. My Tesla hasn't updated the time yet. I'm not sure how to do that. I know it's supposed to update with the GPS, but whatever. So it's 9:43 right now. It's 2.5 hours to get there, so a little after midnight, which is a little bit later than I would want to go normally. Well, I've been saying that every day. So we get down there, plug in. We will charge overnight, car camp, like I've been doing. So, yeah, first Tesla Supercharger ever. Pretty fantastic, pretty awesome. I'm here for it. Let's go. Hello. All right, so it's 12:34 in the morning. Made it to Lake Louise. It's like a visitor center. It's a parking lot. There are 4 EVSEs, electric vehicle supply equipment. Basically anything that's a level 1 or level 2 that you see hanging on a pole, that you see charge point location. That's not the actual charger. The charger is on board. So for this vehicle, what I plug into, unless it's a Tesla Supercharger, level 1, level 2, that's just supplying the energy to the onboard charger. Anyways, semantics aside. There are 4 of those EVSEs here. They're all Tesla branded. 2 of them are J1772 plugs like you'd find on a normal CCS car. And then 2 of them have the NACS adapter, the Tesla adapter. There's a Tesla here charging, I'm assuming overnight, maybe they're car camping, I don't care. Whatever. Then the other Tesla charger plug is broken, like completely busted. I plugged it in. I plugged it into my car, wouldn't take it at all. The one J1772 is down, so I'm plugged into the one on the very end. So only 2 of the 4 chargers actually work. But on the plus side, the charger that I'm plugged into is charging at 10 kilowatts. So I'll have 80% in around 6 hours, which is great. Also not so great because that means that I should probably get up around 6 o'clock and move my car, since there's only 2 of these like EVSEs that are actually functioning, just in case another car comes in. But charging aside, a little bit of a frustration that that's not fully functioning, but on the other side, I'm very happy that I'm charging at 10 kilowatts on a level 2. It's kind of nice. So I'm gonna hit the hay, put an end to day 6. Pretty fantastic day. Looking forward to breakfast in the morning and going up and seeing Banff as much as I can. So yeah, successful day 6. Looking forward to getting some sleep because I did not sleep very well last night. Hopefully I'll get some good sleep tonight. So yeah, see you on day 7.